All right, ladies and gentlemen, fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests, good afternoon and welcome back. We have a very exciting keynote speech, and please allow me to introduce the speaker. Our next speaker is a specialized trainer in emotional intelligence. He has a postgraduate degree in emotional intelligence in mental health, and he has also international certifications in neuro-linguistic programming and coaching. One of his biggest achievements was in 2017 when he became the European champion of public speaking in Toastmasters International, placing in the top 30 speakers in the world. Our next speaker's mission is to help people be happier and more successful through the development of emotional intelligence skills like self-motivation, stress tolerance, or conflict resolution. Please help me welcome, all the way from Lisbon, Portugal, Toastmaster Ricardo Cabete.
Are you emotionally intelligent? It's not a rhetoric question. Are you emotionally intelligent? Do you think you are? Yes. Okay. Now I want you to look to the person on your left. Okay? If you don't have anyone on your left, look to the person on your right. And raise your hand if you think that person is emotionally intelligent. Okay. 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 Nice. Nice. Now, the next question is, do you think you are more emotionally intelligent than that person? Yes. Next question is, do you even know what is emotional intelligence? We'll get to that, okay? We'll get to that. Before we'll start with this keynote / workshop, I got to tell you that nature can teach us a lot. And what I'm going to tell you now is a lesson that nature can teach us. So in these fields, we can find cows or buffaloes. Cows, when they see a storm, they react in a certain way. So cows are there, they're eating the grass. When they see the storm far away, they open their eyes. I'm just exaggerating a little bit, of course, but they open their eyes and they are afraid in that moment. So they just run away from the storm. But cows don't run away very fast. So the storm comes and gets them. So as they're running away, the storm comes, and they keep running away, so they maximize the time they are inside the storm. But buffaloes, on the other way, they've been here for a long, long time. So when buffaloes are eating the grass, just like the cows, when they see the storm far away, what do? They keep eating the grass. They don't care. When the storm is really, really, really close to them, what do? They don't care. They keep eating the grass. And when they feel the first drop of water in their heads, what do? They run into the storm. So they minimize the time they are inside the storm. So we all have storms in our lives. So who are we? Are we cows or are we buffaloes? We can choose to be the buffalo. So this is the first lesson. I am from Portugal. Do you know where Portugal is? Yes. Next to Spain. Cristiano Ronaldo. My city is Lisbon, Lisboa. Beautiful city. If you've never been there, you have to go. We have in Portugal beautiful, beautiful beaches. Mainly in the south, it's called Algarve. And it's Algarve because the origin of the name is Arab. Okay? Arabs years back were in Portugal, and so we have a lot of locations that start with A-L. So, visit Portugal. We love to eat. I think we have that in common. We love good food, right? We love good food, and we have great food just like you. Yes, I always hear that. Some like them, some don't. But one thing is for sure, he is a buffalo. When he sees a storm, he goes for the storm. He's not afraid. So he's an example of hard work. Messi and Ronaldo are the two best players in the world. I don't like to compare them. They're different. But what I know is Ronaldo is very, very hard worker. And he's an example for us Portuguese and for a lot of people in the world also. That's not Ronaldo.
It's Ricardo.
I was cute, right? Thank you so much. When we are young, or when we are born, we're not afraid. But as we grow older, we start being afraid. We start to have limitations. And I was no exception. One of my biggest fears was to speak in public. And the other one was to sing in public. And now you can ask, but why singing? Because singing is one of my passions. I love to sing. And when we don't know how to deal with our fear, when we don't know how to deal with our emotions, they don't go away. They just keep growing and growing and growing. So I was 22 years old, and I was still afraid to speak in public and sing in public. But one night, something changed. One of my friends, asked me to go to a karaoke. And I gotta tell you, karaoke changed my life. I said, I'm not going because I'm afraid. Because karaoke was my storm. I didn't want to face that storm. I was so afraid. And she said, you can go, but you don't have to sing. So I went there, and she insisted so much that I decided to make that little step towards the stage that changed my life completely. I went to the stage, I was so afraid that my legs were shaking like this, literally. And the guy from the karaoke noticed that I was nervous, and instead of putting the song that I was going to sing, that it was a Portuguese song, he put a striptease song. You Can Leave Your Hat On by Joe Cocker. And so I was even more afraid. I realized that speaking in public was not my main fear. But then he put my song, and I sang the song with my eyes closed. I closed my eyes, I sang that song, and when I opened my eyes, I had 40 people clapping and cheering for me. And for me, they were not clapping and cheering because I sang that song. It was because I overcome a fear that I was 22 years. Thank you. And that night I sang 2 more songs, and in the same year, I became a singer in a rock band. Here, and I'm still a singer in the same band today. And so, this is us in a big international festival in Lisbon where we performed with the Black Eyed Peas and another big bands internationally. Thank you so much. So my name is Ricardo Cabete. I am a professional speaker. I've been in Toastmasters for 4 years. I'm taking a little break now because I have a lot of work, but it's just a little break. I'll come back soon for sure for my club in Lisbon. And I'm so excited to be here. It's the first time in the Middle East, first time in Saudi Arabia, and thank you so much for welcoming me. I'm loving it so much. Thank you. I'm a trainer, emotional intelligence trainer. I do corporations, trainings for corporations, for public in general. And now I'm doing a tour in the Middle East. So I've been to Oman, Dubai, now Saudi Arabia, and tomorrow I'll go to Bahrain. And it's a life-changing experience. Different culture, amazing people, very warm, and it's really, really amazing. Thank you so much. And I love the food. Yes, Portuguese love to eat. So my journey in Toastmasters was amazing because that night in karaoke, I made that step that changed my whole life. And now I'm going to tell you a story. I'm going to tell you a story about the first Saudi Arabian person I've ever met. And I was in the contest because I won 2 years ago in my district in Europe. And I went to Vancouver to represent Europe and Portugal. But 2 years before, I was always trying and improving, like we do in Toastmasters, getting feedback and improving. So one night in Luxembourg, I was in the semi-final. And I performed, and I went through to the final. And I was going out of the room. And I was going out of the room, I felt a hand in my shoulder. And when I looked, I saw the first Saudi Arabian I ever met. His name is Mohammed Katani. And there I was, a rookie, starting. I was just starting for sure. And there it was, the world champion of public speaking. And he looked at me and said, "Hey, I loved your speech." And I was like, yeah, whoa. It's the world champion of public speaking. And he's saying, "I loved your speech." And then we became friends. And the day after, I was preparing for the workshop, and he helped me improve. So we went outside. I did my whole speech in front of him. And he gave me feedback to improve. So thank you so much. Even more important than that, I see in him a very humble person, a very simple person. I think you can see that too, right? And so thank you so much, Mohammed. You're a great inspiration for me. And 1 year later of your feedback, I was district champion. And you helped me a lot also. Thank you so much. Also, in the speech, in the next year where I was preparing, I asked Mohammed for help, and he helped me pro bono. Once again, thank you. Thank you. So here we are. This is the day we met. 1 year after, I was in Vancouver, in my semi-final in Vancouver, in the final World Championship finals. I got 3rd place, and for me, it was amazing because I became a buffalo. From that night in the karaoke, that I was so afraid to sing or speak in public, I went to this, and now I'm here. And I'm here because of Mohammed Katani. Another story. One day in Facebook, I sent a message to Mohammed, and I said, "Hey, maybe you can help me promote my business there in Saudi Arabia, in the Middle East. Maybe you can help me promote. You have a lot of contacts there." And you know what he said? No. And I said, "Okay." He said, "No, because I'm not used to do that marketing. I don't have that skill. So I'm a professional speaker. I go there and speak. But I don't have those skills. But I do have some contacts, and I can give you one contact." So he put me in contact with my manager, Love Charmaine. And she organized this tour, and that's why I'm here. So thank you once again. So I'm here because of Mohammed Katani. So what I'm going to ask you now is, what is emotional intelligence? So what I want to do before I tell you what it is, I want you to do groups of 2, Okay, let's start the workshop. Groups of 2, and you're going to talk to the person right next to you. If you're alone, please join a group. You can have groups of 3. And in 1 minute, it's very fast, okay? In 1 minute, you're going to discuss what is for you emotional intelligence, okay? Are you ready? Don't be alone. Join a group 2 or 3. You can start now. Okay, thank you so much. So now, you can shout it from there. What is emotional intelligence for you?
State of mind.
What?
State of mind.
State of mind.
Empathy.
Empathy.
State of action. Control.
Control what?
Control emotions.
Our emotions? And the others. Okay, yes. What else? To what?
Emotions.
Be in his shoes.
Be in his shoes. Okay. In the? Having feelings for others.
Social awareness.
Social awareness. Okay. So all is correct. Emotional intelligence, we can see here the definition by Daniel Goleman, is the ability to identify and manage our emotions and those of others, to self-motivate and manage our relationships. So that's the definition. But how can we understand in our everyday life if we're being emotional intelligent or not? There's one simple rule. If what you think and what you do is beneficial for you and for the people around you, that is emotionally intelligent. I'll say it again. If what you think and what you do is beneficial for you and for the people around you, that is emotionally intelligent. Okay? So now it's all that. We need to first to look inside ourselves, to manage our own emotions, and then we can identify and manage the emotions of others. So you can see here the top 10 professional skills. It's a World Economic Forum report where you can see in 2015, the top ones, and 2020, emotional intelligence comes to the 6th place. But more important than that is if you see here like creativity, people management, coordinating with others, judgment and decision making, service orientation, negotiation, they all have a strong connection with emotional intelligence. So we all need emotional intelligence not only in our professional lives, but also in our personal lives. So the goal of this workshop is to give you tools you can apply in your everyday life. The first tool we're going to talk about is power poses. So power poses, do you know Amy Cuddy? Yes. She has this very, very powerful TEDx, and I totally recommend. She did a series of scientific studies, and she found out that our posture, when we change our posture, it changes our emotion. So if we're feeling a bit down, we're not very confident, and we want to change that, we should change our confidence, our posture. So if I'm standing like this, and I stand for a little while, look down, I have the posture of sadness. If I stay here like 2 minutes, I will be sad, for sure. But if I change my posture and do this one, a Superman or Superwoman posture, or this posture, it will change my mood completely. And you want to see how a mood of a room can be changed. I will ask you please to all stand up. Ronaldo has its own power poses. So let's do this one first. Superman. Yeah. Up here. Okay. Yes. Yes. So scientists, keep it like that. Scientists discover that to be effective, we have to do it for 2 minutes at least. So 1.5 minutes to go. Okay? So right, this one. Go back to this one. And another thing that I learned in my certifications was the fake smile. And the fake smile is when you're feeling down, you just fake your smile for a while and it changes your mood. And when I heard it, it was like, that's kind of stupid, right? But I don't like to say bad things about something that I didn't try. So I tried. Just keep it, okay? Keep it like that, 2 minutes. I was driving one day, the week after the certification, when I heard about the fake smiles. So I was driving and I was feeling a bit sad. So I thought, let me try it. I'm going to try that fake smile thing. Well, it's stupid, but I'll do it. And so I did. This is how we look when we do it, yeah. And so a traffic light, a car stopped right here, and I did like, the lady was like, oh, crazy guy, you know, let him go. And so, but my mood changed completely. And starting, you can see the mood in the room for sure when we did the power poses. It changes completely. So when you wake up in the morning feeling, I gotta confess one thing. Today, in the morning when I wake up, I've been sick for the last 2 days. And so I had a low energy. And when I woke up today, I was sitting down in bed, and the first thing I did was this. Yes! And so I started dancing in the room. That's the other thing that helps. I started dancing in the room. I put some music, and it got me totally energized. So we can change. We have the power to change our mood. You're feeling down. You want to change it? Do some power poses. Go dancing. Do some exercise. When you change the physiology of your body, you change your emotion. So if you have a meeting, important meeting, you have a contest, a Toastmaster contest, you need to do a difficult conversation, you're going to a job interview, before that, do the power poses, do the fake smile, and you'll see. Try it. Don't say bad things before you try it, like me. So try it and you'll see the results. So thank you so much. So change your posture, change your emotion. I recommend this book by Amy Cuddy. It's called Presence. A very good book about the power poses. So, mindfulness. This is a very, very powerful tool. I'm going to talk about 3 tools. This is the second one. Mindfulness. And do you know what mindfulness is? What is it? Be mindful of others. Yes. Be in the present. Yes. Yes. So mindfulness is being here and now in a conscious way. Kind of a resume of what you said just right now. And so, there's a lot of misconceptions about mindfulness. We can practice mindfulness in very different ways. There's the formal way and the informal way. So the formal way, is what we're going to do today here, is like normal meditation, or you close your eyes, you focus on a sound, you focus on your breathing. That's the formal way. The informal way is when you're eating, for example, if you're really flavoring the food. When you're with your family, are you 100% there When you're working, totally focus on your work. There's people that all year long, they are working, but they are thinking in the vacations. When they're in vacations, they're thinking about work. That's not mindfulness. Mindfulness is you're working, 100% working. If you're vacation, 100% in vacation. So what I always say is, we try to find happiness and success in the future. But the past is only good for learning. The future is good for motivation and planning. But happiness and success are always in the present. Happiness and success are always in the presence. In the present. So here and now, we're going to try a little meditation. And it's really fast one, really simple. And so I'm going to ask you to put both of your feet on the ground, steady on the ground. Be comfortable in your chairs, okay? And not just right now, but when I tell you, you're going to close your eyes later. And this is the exercise. You're going to think first about your breathing. You focus on your breathing. And you're going to notice that your mind is going to wander. You're going to think about something else. What are you going to have for dinner? Yeah, what am I going to do later? Or I'm cold, I'm warm, something like that. You're going to think about something else. When you notice that, you bring your attention back to your breathing. That's the exercise. The same thing, if you go to a gym, every time you put the muscle, you grab a weight, your muscle is getting bigger. Here it's the same thing. You're training your muscle, your focus muscle. So I would ask you now, we'll do it in silence, total silence, okay? I will ask you now to close your eyes if you're comfortable with it. If you're not comfortable closing your eyes, you can look down and close as much as you can. And now breathe deeply 3 times. So the goal of this exercise is not sleeping, so I'll ask you not to sleep. And if you do, please don't snore, okay? Okay, so I will ask you now with your eyes closed to focus on your breathing. I'll ask for total silence. Just focus on your breathing without changing anything. Just notice the sensations. What do you feel? You're going to notice that your mind will wander. And as you notice that, don't judge yourself. Just bring back your attention back to your breathing. Once again, with your eyes closed, your mind will wander, and that's the exercise. Just bring it back to your breathing. Every time you do that, your focus muscle is being strengthened. So now in a few seconds, you'll hear a sound. Keep your eyes closed. And when you hear a sound, take your attention from your breathing to the sound. And once again, if your mind wanders, bring it back to the sound. So now the sound will fade slowly. And I want you to go to your favorite place on earth right now. Just imagine that you are in that place that makes you feel so safe, so secure. Imagine you are right now. Make a flight and imagine you are there. Now slowly you can come back to this place. Slowly open your eyes. You can stretch if you want. Good morning. For those who fell asleep, it's going to continue now. Okay, so wake up. I see one person there that fell asleep. So imagine if we could have a peaceful moment like this. And you know what? In your culture, you already have it. Because you do prayers a lot of time. And when you do your prayers, you are practicing mindfulness. So that is very, very powerful. There's new scientific studies that show that people that have more faith and are more spiritual are more happy. And so it's very interesting to understand when science does the scientific studies on faith also. So change your focus, change your emotion. Why is this important? You got to practice this in a regular basis. But when you feel anger, if you have practice in mindfulness, you can calm down because your heart rate goes down and you will be more relaxed and you can manage more your emotions. So change your focus, change your emotion. And now, imagine, we did the power poses, you've seen the mood in the room. Now we did the mindfulness, it's a completely different mood, relaxed, okay? So for the next part of the workshop, I need a little more energy, so please stand up. And now, to get a little bit more energy, we gotta move, right? So let's relax like this, okay? You can jump a little bit if you want, yeah. It's a nice view from here. You can put it in the, yeah, like this. Yeah, nice. Anyone's taking a picture of this? Yeah. Very good. Okay, you can sit down now. Then we can change our mood when we want. We just have to move your body or stop our body, change our focus. So before we go to the next tool, the last tool, I got to tell you a personal story of my life. And this is very personal. And it's something I learned a lot by this that happened to me. So before I got my certifications on emotional intelligence, when I was 19, I entered a computer engineering faculty. I didn't know, I didn't have the maturity to choose. So it was supposed to be good, so I went to computer engineering faculty in Lisbon. I realized in the first months that I hated the course, really, really bad. At the end of the first year, my dad came to me and said, Ricardo, were you successful in this first year? Are you in the second year now? And I wasn't. That was so bad in the first year. But I didn't want to show my bad face, my failure. I wanted to have success. I want him to be proud of me. So I lied. I told him, yes, Dad, it's going great. I'm already in the second year now. I felt so guilty, but the lie grew bigger. After 3 years, my dad and my whole family thought that I was in the third year, when I was still in first year. That were the worst days of my life, those 3 years. And then one day, my dad came to me, 3 years and a half later, he came to me and said, tomorrow, please bring me the reports, everything you've done in your faculty, please bring me the reports. In that moment, I started to cry. And I told him the truth. Dad, I'm not in the third year. I'm still in the first year and I hate it. I'm sorry. Of course he was mad, he was angry, but he still supported me. So I'm telling this story to show you this profound message that behind every behavior, there's a human need. So what was my need? What do you think? Why did I lie?
Satisfaction of your life.
Yes. Because I needed acceptance. I needed support. I needed to show success. The strategy I chose was not so good. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you a behavior. Michael is the team leader. One of his team members didn't deliver an important report on time. Michael yelled at him and was very, very aggressive. Michael said, "You are incompetent. Can you do something right?" So this is Michael's behavior. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to give you 2 minutes in groups, 2 or 3, again, okay? It could be the same ones. And I want you to discuss what is the needs or what are the needs behind Michael's behavior. Okay? So, Michael is the team leader. He yelled. He was very aggressive. What were the needs? Why did he yell? Okay? 2 minutes. Get on groups again. Okay, so what were the needs behind Michael's behavior? To get results, yeah. Okay, one at a time, yeah, here?
Higher expectation for...
He's insecure.
Okay, but what's the need? What does he need?
Fear of failure.
Okay. Okay. Time management? He's under pressure, okay.
He's not a team leader. He does not feel important.
He wants success, yes.
He does not have emotional and
Yes.
Balance life. To succeed.
Yes, to succeed, there's no right or wrong answers because depending on the contest, depending on the person, there's a different need. It could be success. He could need efficiency. He could need security. Why would he need security in this case? He could lose his job, okay? He has to report to his boss. So he might need security. He needs success. He could need efficiency. It depends on the person, okay? So there's no wrong or right. Most of what you said is right, okay? So what is the point that I'm trying to go through? I'm going to give you another example. Imagine you are in the line to go to the pharmacy. A lot of people in front of you, you're waiting to buy medication. And another person cuts you off in the line without saying anything. What would you say? Hey, the line is back there, something like that, okay? Now imagine the same situation, you are the line for the pharmacy, but the person that is coming says, excuse me, can I cut you off in line? My son is very sick at home and he needs medication. What would you do? Yes. Why? Because you understand the need behind the behavior. That's emotional intelligence. When we look at other person, when you don't like the behavior of another person, and then what we do, we talked about here today, we judge the other person. And we say, that's bad, that's a bad person, that bad behavior. That's our focus, judgment. But if we focus on the need behind it, we can connect with the human that is in front of us. It's the same thing when we go in traffic. A lot of people beep, 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 we beep to everyone, right? So when I'm trying to, there's a big line, I'm trying to get in, no one lets me get in. You know what I do? I put my head out and I look straight into the person's eyes. And I do this, and they always let me go. Why? Because they see the human behind the car. So when you don't like someone's behavior, before judging, try to understand what's the need behind that behavior. I have, maybe it's utopia, this idea, this philosophy of life, but I think there's no bad people. There's good people with good intentions that choose bad strategies to fulfill their own needs.
Yes.
Yes.
We can have more. We have more knowledge, more excuse for others. As we know, in our culture, we have to excuse people for 70 reasons and think more and more about them. So you can have more excuse before you judge.
Yes. Yes. Thank you so much for sharing. And this is the main message. Try to see the behavior behind the need. You'll see that you won't be so mad about others and you'll connect. And another thing is express your needs. Say what's important to you when you connect. So this is the book that I recommend, Nonviolent Communication. We have to go through, I'll send the PowerPoint to you, okay? So find the need behind the behavior. This book is also amazing by Daniel Goleman, Emotional Intelligence. We're almost over in this keynote, and I'm going to tell you a story, a beautiful story. Long time ago, there was this village. And this village has a wise man. A very, very wise man. Every question that was ever made to that wise man, he got it right. So this one young guy from the village said, tomorrow I'm going to talk to the wise guy and I'm going to do this question and he's going to get it wrong. It doesn't matter what he's going to say, he's going to get it wrong for sure. What are you going to do? Well, in my hands, I'm going to take a little bird inside my hands. And I'm going to ask him, wise man, is he dead? The little bird, is he dead or is he alive? If he says that he's dead, I open my hands and he flies away. So he's wrong. If he says that he's alive, I will kill the bird and show him that he's wrong. So no matter, it doesn't matter what he's going to say, he's going to get it wrong for sure. So the next day, there he was. With a little bird, he came to the wise man. And he said, wise man, the bird that I have here in my hands, is it alive or dead? And he responded, my friend, the answer, it's in your hands. So I ask you the same thing. If you're going to apply what you learned here, if you want to change the mood, do power poses. It will change completely, and you saw it here in the room. If you want to relax, you want to calm down and be in the moment and find your inner peace, do the mindfulness meditation. If you want to improve your relationships with others, it doesn't matter if it's personal life or it's professional life, you can use this tool called nonviolent communication, where the base of it is find the need behind others' behaviors. And not just behind others, behind our behaviors. Because we are our strongest critics. We always criticize ourselves. If we find the need why we do what we do, of course, it's not to accept and do it again. It's to learn the mistakes. Remember, the past is to learn. We'll improve our relationship with ourselves and with others. So that's the challenge. So to finish, the message is you got to be the buffalo. When you see the storm, you got to go into the storm. So the last exercise that we're going to do here, it's like a commitment. And the commitment is you are going to face your storms. And I want you right now, it's a big challenge. I want you right now to write or think of your biggest storm right now in your life. Something that you're afraid of. Maybe it's a relationship that you want to improve. Something that's an obstacle between you and your success. The biggest obstacle between you and your happiness. I want you to think about it or write it. Okay? I'll give you a few seconds. So we'll do this last activity. Okay? I want to challenge you to overcome the biggest storm in your life. So we're going to hear a song to finish this workshop. And before we do it, we're going to end it with that. I want to thank you so much for welcoming here. It was a pleasure being here. And what I really want is for you to apply these tools in your everyday life. So a round of applause for you. Thank you so much. So did you think about your biggest challenge, your biggest storm right now?
Yes.
Yes? Are you ready to overcome it?
Yes.
Yes? Okay. So this is what's going to happen. When the music goes stronger, and I'll tell you when, I'll count to 3, I want everyone to stand up and put your hands like this. Not yet, okay? I want everyone to put your hands like this. And remember, I'll count 1, 2, 3, and you'll do it. And when you do it, in that moment, I want you to think that you're going to overcome that challenge. And why are you going to do it? Because you are a Toastmaster. You are a fighter. Because you already overcome a lot of storms. But now is the time to overcome the biggest storm in your life. Are you ready? Yes. Are you ready? Yes. So, we're going to do it in just a few seconds. Everyone's going to stand up and do it like this. We're almost there. Are you ready? Not yet. Not yet. Yeah. Think about your storm in 1, 2, 3, now. Yeah. Thank you so much. Let's do another thing.